Hello and welcome to Express News. In the next half an hour, we'll get you all the latest news and updates. I'm Abhishek Mahajan. We'll start with the top story. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated the Ashtalakshmi Mahotsav Bharat Mandapam in New Delhi that showcases the cultural vibrancy of Northeast India. The first ever Ashtalakshmi Mahotsav aims to offer a dynamic stage for showcasing Northeast and its India's vibrant textile sector, tourism opportunities, traditional craftsmanship and distinctive geographical indication tagged products. Addressing the Ashtalakshmi Mahotsav, PM Modi said the diverse colours of Northeast are making a beautiful rainbow in the national capital. PM Modi also said India is focused on the global connectivity of its culture and trade. Northeast connects us to limitless potential of South Asia and East Asia. India remembers Bharat Ratna Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, a beacon of social justice, on his death anniversary. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi, besides other dignitaries, paid floral tributes to Babasaheb. India's President Draupadi Murmu paid tribute to Babasaheb at AG Square in Bhubaneswar, Odisha. The day is widely observed as Mahaparinirvan Divas. The Chief Minister of North Indian state of Uttar Pradesh, Yogi Adityanath, and several other dignitaries offered floral tributes to Dr. Ambedkar. On a 5-day visit to the eastern state of Odisha, India's President Draupadi Murmu engaged with students and teachers of a government school at Uparbeda village in Mayurbhanj district. President Murmu also briefly interacted with youths at a high school. Subsequently, she will conduct an interactive session with students and faculty of Mahila Mahavidyalaya in Rairangpur. Ministry of External Affairs spokesperson Randhir Jaiswal said that India's Foreign Secretary will visit Bangladesh on December 9. India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar attended the opening session of the India-Japan Forum in New Delhi today. Speaking at the session, Dr. Jaishankar highlighted the potential for semiconductor collaboration between India and Japan, emphasizing its significance in reshaping global geopolitical dynamics. Dr. Jaishankar also said that Quad is one of the most expansive intergovernmental coordination that is today in evidence. Former President of Chile, founding director of UN Women and former UN High Commissioner for Human Rights, Michelle Bachelet, was awarded with Indira Gandhi Prize for Peace, Disarmament and Development 2024. Amid ruckus by the opposition members, Lok Sabha or the lower house was adjourned for the day to reconvene on Monday. India observes Home Guards Raising Day on Friday to celebrate the dedication and bravery of the voluntary force. India's central bank, that is the Reserve Bank of India, concluded its 3-day monetary policy committee meeting in financial capital Mumbai on Friday. RBI has decided to keep the repo rate unchanged at 6.5%, Governor Shaktikant Das announced. This makes it the 11th consecutive time the repo rate has remained unchanged at 6.5% for the 11th straight meeting. The RBI also reduced the cash reserve ratio by 50 basis points to 4%, bringing it back to the level before the policy tightening cycle began in April 2022. The Reserve Bank of India has cut real GDP growth projection for financial year 2025 to 6.6% from its earlier projection of 7.2%. At close, the Sensex was down 56.74 points or 0.07% at 81,709.12. Nifty was down 30.60 points or 0.12% at 24,677.80. February gold futures were trading at Rs 76,777 per 10 grams on the MCX. Indian rupee ended higher at 84.69 per dollar on Friday versus previous close. Oil prices edged lower on Friday with weak demand in focus after the OPEC Plus group postponed planned supply increases and extended deep output cuts to the end of 2026. Brent crude futures fell 6 cents to $72.03 per barrel, while US West Texas Intermediate crude futures lost 1 cent to $68.29 per barrel. In a major development, Central Bank of Bangladesh is printing new currency notes without the image of former Bangladesh President Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. In a big setback for Boeing, United States judge rejected plane maker's guilty plea to a felony conspiracy charge and pay a fine for misleading US regulators about the 737 MAX jetliner before two of the planes crashed, killing 346 people. US stocks ended down slightly on Thursday, with United Health down sharply and technology shares easing as investors awaited Friday's jobs report. According to preliminary data, the S&P 500 lost 11.38 points to end at 6,075.11 points, while the Nasdaq Composite lost 34.86 points to 19,700.26. Australian police search for two people suspected of deliberately starting a fire at a Melbourne synagogue that injured one and caused widespread damage. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese condemned the fire as a deliberate, unlawful attack, saying anti-Semitism has no place in Australia. He added that counter-terror police were involved in the investigation. South Korea remains on high alert amid widespread reports of another looming martial law declaration. South Korea's ruling party leader said that President Yoon needs to be removed from authority for the safety of the country for trying to impose martial law. South Korean lawmakers on Friday discussed the special prosecutor investigation request on treason allegations over the declaration of martial law by President Yoon Suk-yeol. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken spoke to his South Korean counterpart Cho Tae-yul, welcomed the lifting of martial law and said he expected the democratic process to prevail in the country. Thousands of people fled the central Syrian city of Homs overnight and into Friday morning as rebel forces advanced towards the country's third city, Homs. Israel's army said that it conducted airstrikes on Hezbollah targets along the Syria-Lebanon border. United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres said there is an urgent need for immediate humanitarian access to all civilians in need in Syria. French President Emmanuel Macron reaffirmed he would stay on until the end of his mandate in May 2027 in an address to the nation after lawmakers toppled his government led by Michel Barnier. French President Emmanuel Macron added that the new government should represent a variety of parties willing to take part in it or at least agree not to censure it. French President Emmanuel Macron will appoint a new Prime Minister in the coming days, whose top priority will be getting a 2025 budget adopted by the Parliament. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov has said he hoped Ukraine's allies would take Moscow's recent use of hypersonic missiles in the conflict seriously. Russian President Vladimir Putin named Alexander Kinstein as acting governor of the Kursk region, partly occupied by Ukrainian forces. In Romania, several thousand rally in capital Bucharest in support of a pro-European presidential candidate a few days before key elections. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has accused Russia of undermining democratic processes, including influencing the presidential election in Romania. The World Bank announced record $100 billion support for world's poorest countries in order to help some of the world's poorest countries. The World Bank has said Thursday that it has raised nearly $24 billion. U.S. President-elect Donald Trump announced the appointment of former Senator David Perdue as the future ambassador to China. President-elect Donald Trump on Thursday appointed former PayPal Chief Operating Officer David Sachs to be his White House artificial intelligence and crypto czar. Now, women in Afghanistan filmed protest against a reported Taliban directive to ban female students from attending medical training institutes. Time now for a very short break. On the other side, more stories. Keep watching Express News.
while our needs have expanded, the places where we live are becoming increasingly more and more vulnerable. Let's take a look at some of these ideas and examples of how this is being done.
We do traffic survey, basically traffic volume survey. Many intersection has now zero fatalities and injuries. The streets has zero dust pollution now.
Palmyra bags, it negates the destruction of the root structure because we do not remove these bags. Over a period of few weeks, it gets totally degraded and mixes with the soil, which also avoids the plastic pollution.
Fish feces is known as sludge and can be used for plantain farming. This is how I started smart integrated farming, which didn't only help my plantain farming, but also all the other crops that I started to grow.
Welcome back. You're watching Express News. Some more stories. A powerful earthquake of magnitude 7 jolted Northern California on Thursday. No deaths or injuries were reported. Authorities said they needed time to check across the impacted area. The earthquake was centered 39 miles west of Ferndale at a shallow depth of 10 kilometers. California Governor Gavin Newsom said he had signed a state of emergency declaration to facilitate assistance. Coastal towns scrambled as a tsunami warning was extended 500 miles across California and Oregon. However, the alert was cancelled 90 minutes later. About 19,000 clients were without power in Humboldt County before the earthquake struck. An aerial footage also showed drivers in Northern California stuck in traffic after tsunami warning. Normal train service between Bangkok and Thailand's Hat Yai resumed, which was suspended for the past week due to heavy flooding. Authorities said the repairs are underway and will resume upon their completion. The Met Department predicted heavy rain in the southern province of Thailand due to moderate northeastern monsoon. India's New Delhi witnessed a dip in temperature on Friday, with the minimum temperature dropping to 8.5 degrees Celsius at 8:30 a.m. The temperature fell almost by 2 degrees over the last 24 hours. There was also a shallow fog engulfing New Delhi. The Indian Met Department has predicted the minimum temperature to drop to 6 degrees Celsius by December 10. Air quality index in Delhi improved to moderate category. The overall air quality index recorded in Delhi was 183 as of 7 a.m. on Friday. Mercury continued its free fall as the minimum temperature dropped to minus 4.1 degrees Celsius in India's Srinagar. On Friday, temperatures are expected to dip further till Sunday. US President Joe Biden attended the annual US National Christmas Tree Lighting Ceremony, the last of his presidency, in Washington on Thursday. The tradition marks the start of the holiday season in the US capital. UNESCO inscribed China's Spring Festival on Intangible Cultural Heritage List. The decision was made during the 19th session of the Intergovernmental Committee. With this addition, China now has 44 cultural elements recognized by UNESCO as Intangible Cultural Heritage of Humanity. The committee recognized the festival for its wide array of rituals and cultural elements. Buddhists gathered at Sanam Luang to pay their respects of a tooth relic of Lord Buddha. The relic will be in Thailand until February 14th. Lotus flowers are also available at the pavio built at Sanam Luang. For Buddhists, it is placed in a chedi specially built for this occasion. Tourists were attracted to the stunning sight of a colorful bridge connecting the sky at the Hukou waterfall in China's Yellow River. The waterfall is renowned for its rapid water flow and thunderous sound. The camera footage showcased a laugh-triggering scene of a panda cub crawling towards its breeder, mimicking a sweeping robot. A cute panda cub was crawling forward with its belly and short limbs close to the ground. Apex, a 150 million year old Stegosaurus dinosaur fossil that billionaire Kenneth C. Griffin bought for $44.6 million, was displayed at the American Museum of Natural History in New York on Thursday. The Stegosaurus fossil was found in Colorado and fetched a record $44.6 million at a Sotheby's auction in July. Sotheby's will host its first auction of American football star Tom Brady's watch and memorabilia collection on 10 December. Brady's collection, featuring 21 watches, showcases a diverse range from sports to modern to vintage. The collection includes an Audemars 99 Royal Oak. The roast, it is estimated to fetch between $400,000 and $800,000. A new Paul McCartney €5 coin collection was released by the Royal Mint on Friday. The coin design honors the former Beatle and iconic musician's career. The coin also features Magic piano design signature, a Hofner violin, bass guitar, the Wings logo and piano notes personally chosen by McCartney. Indian artist Eklavya Prasad inaugurated a captivating art exhibition celebrating creativity and expression in New Delhi. The event brought together artists and dignitaries, offering a vibrant showcase of diverse artistic styles. The Delhi exhibition aims to promote cultural appreciation and encourage meaningful conversations through the lens of art. A 12th class student from India's Gwalior builds air taxi drone. The air taxi prototype demonstrates advanced technological skills and highlights the creative potential of young minds. NASA has announced new delays in the US Space Agency's Artemis program to return astronauts to the moon for the first time since 1972. Making the announcement, Administrator Nelson confirmed it would be further delayed until April 2026. The Artemis 2 mission has experienced previous delays as well. New research reveals a 700% increase in mental health insurance claims by Australians in their 30s over the past decade. Mental health now accounts for nearly a third of all permanent disability claims, with workplace stress and reduced resilience contributing to the rise. Conservationists in England are spearheading a nature restoration experiment in North Yorkshire, moving fungi-rich soil from an ancient woodland to a newly established site. The project aims to reintroduce missing fungi species integral to tree health and soil sustainability, potentially informing nationwide forest management practices. Crowds gather to celebrate the lighting of the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree in New York City on Wednesday. Alia Bhatt's much-anticipated action thriller Jigra is finally set to premiere on Netflix after its theatrical release in October. Indian actor Toino Thomas' film Identity will be released in theatres in January 2025. The film's trailer was also unveiled. Sports now. India bundled out for 180 runs in their first innings of the day-night second test in Adelaide match against Australia. Nitish Reddy emerged out as highest scorer with 42 runs, while Australia's Mitchell Starc claimed a career-best bowling attack of 6 for 48. Jasprit Bumrah joined Kapil Dev and Zair Khan to claim 50 test wickets in a calendar year. Bumrah reached this milestone during the ongoing Adelaide day-night test against Australia. Australia ended first day of the second test with 86 runs on the board with loss of 1 wicket. Australia trailed India by 94 runs. Attendance at Adelaide Oval during the second test of India versus Australia break 12-year record. Over 36,000 people attended the game on the first day. India defeated Sri Lanka by 7 wickets in the Under-19 Asia Cup semi-final fixture in Sharjah on Friday. With this victory, India booked a berth in the final on December 8. England bundled out for 280 runs in the opening day of the second test in Wellington. New Zealand scored 86 runs for the loss of 5 wickets at the end of the day. Former Australia batter Joe Burns has been announced as Italy's new captain. The Brisbane-born had hinted his allegiances to Italy in May this year. Pacers Marquino Midley and Jedediah Blades are set to replace Matthew Ford and Shamar Joseph in the West Indies squad for the ODI series against Bangladesh. The Chinese Grand Prix in Shanghai will remain on the Formula One calendar until at least 2030 after a new 5-year deal. India produced a stellar performance at the Hong Kong leg of the World Pickleball Championship, securing a total of 6 medals, including 1 gold, 3 silver and 2 bronze medals. Mexican club Leon is set to be put up for sale to comply with FIFA's Club World Cup regulations. Last month, FIFA announced to ban multiple teams belonging to the same ownership. India's D. Gukesh and China's Ding Liren will face each other in the 10th game of the World Chess Championship on Saturday. Game 9 saw 6 consecutive draw after 51 moves. Indian athletes have bagged 28 medals at the ongoing Asia Pacific Deaf Games 2024 in Malaysia. Currently, India is placed on the 3rd rank in athletics games. The NBA will stage 2 pre-season games in Macau next October, marking its return to China after being frozen out for more than 5 years. Well, that's all we have in this edition of Express News. You stay tuned for more news and updates. Namaskar.